Now the car to watch for is in the middle of your picture there, the immaculate orange Holden from Australia, sponsored by Carglass. It hasn't done so terribly well in the qualifying heats, but when it did get away, it showed absolutely stunning power. It got away from the Karsha-sponsored Sierra XR4i, their number 5 of Jos Sterkens from Belgium, and if he can possibly get the run through that gap between the black Volkswagen and the yellow and white Sierra, I think we could have a real race on our hands.
Well, we've got the man who was fastest, Fernand Lanoy in there, Eddie Guffins,
Red lights are on.
Sterkens, Freddie Tillmans and Paul Stevens, winner of the B final.
And the Holden's coming through, Bill. The Holden's made it through to the front. Now, I don't believe anything will catch it now.
Well, he certainly had to fight for it. He squeezed his way through, managed to waggle the nose, waggle the tail, created the room, and he's through. There is Paul Stevens, winner of the B final, fighting hard, but I think he's lost it and he's down at the back of the field.
Now, the Karsha-sponsored Sierra managed to hold off the Holden in qualifying rounds. We've got a problem. The Sierra's blown its engine. We believe the Sierra's blown its engine.
He suddenly dropped back, number 5, Jos Sterkens in the Sierra, but it's still the Holden leading. Number 11, Eddie Guffins from Belgium. There he is going through. Who is it in second place? We'll just pick them up.
This car makes the most glorious noise.
And quite a battle there going on at the back of the field. The Sierra is still going. Yes, in third place, it's number 15.
The Sierra's spun and the Volkswagen has rolled. That was caused by this Volkswagen. Paul Stevens looking absolutely desperate there. He looks okay. He's a bit still in the car. He's absolutely furious because that was caused. Black flags.
Well, that was the winner of the B final, Paul Stevens. That really was desperate. Colin, can you talk us through that one again?
Yes, what happened was the Sierra XR4i was defending its line. He lost it. The back went out, the Volkswagen had nowhere to go, he must have locked over and rolled it. With the A final of Division 2 1600cc getting underway following the stopping of that last race.
And it's Jan van Elderen in the lead with number 4 chasing him hard, Jack Fremson in the ex-Fassbender Alpine, and what has happened there? Somebody climbing up the banking and dropped right down to last place, and that was number 25, Joe Hellebrand.
But it's Jan van Elderen who inherits the lead. The Renault 5 Turbo doing extremely well at the front there with the Alpine. So it's the original concept from Renault of the rear engine with the gearbox in front of the engine being led by the modern concept of the Renault 5 mid-engine turbo. But in third place, Bill, is your friend and my friend, the four-wheel drive Volkswagen. Excellent performance from a car there, never designed to be an ultimate competition car.
Quite right, and so these three leaders on the second lap. It's number 3, Jan van Elderen in the lead with the Renault 5. Second place in the Alpine, Jack Fransen. And in third playing Golf GTI, Robert Verreken. All three of them from Belgium.
Yes, the Belgian performance here today, it is of course in Belgium, but I must remind you only just over the border from Holland. But the Belgians certainly dominating the championships today. But here we have the very tight race at the front.
And now these two drivers we're looking at pulling away a little bit from the VW, and these two really getting very close. I noticed a slight mistake there by the leader, which allowed the Renault to close.
Yes, once again it's the blocking tactics that we've seen so much at the Grimby, the Devil's Mountain Circuit, Duvelsberg. And the Renault Alpine somehow has got to find the extra power to get past this very nimble, very short-coupled vehicle in front of him.
Well, Robert Verreken in the VW, I notice, is using up an awful lot of the crack on the corners, and he's dropping back further all the time as we watch these two in the lead. Number 3, Jan van Elderen, second place, Jacques Fransen. Here is the man in third place. Then the battle at the back of the field.
And there's a tremendous scrap going on at the back there, Bill. Number 5 being tackled by number 25. Number 5 being Jean-Michel Laurent.
Joseph de Crane, the man who won the the B final, Colin.
Yeah, he's really putting on a stunning performance, and he's in front of a man. No, he's not yet. He's still at the back, but he's certainly having a good go.
Yes, 25 there, Joe Hellebrand. Meanwhile, we're back with the leaders. Stin Van Elderen in the lead. Second place, Jack Franson. But for how long will it be like that?
Bill, that Alpine is trying everything, absolutely everything. It's sideways everywhere. He's risking everything by going onto the marbles offline.
And that's only to stay with the leader. What's he going to do when he tries to overtake him, Colin?
Yes, well, he's certainly trying to force a mistake, which is really all he can do. And the Renault Turbo is not being obliging.
Not in the slightest, and there's a lot at stake. And just look at the way that keeping a straight line, that Renault can just pull out just a little bit. The Alpine waggle the tail, drop back a fraction, so you can actually see how critical it is to keep a straight line on this circuit.
Yes, smooth style we've seen before really produces results. What a pretty car that Alpine is, though. Really good looking. He's lining up on the straight now. Could he have a go here? He's close enough. It's right on the checkered flag. It's too late. Up by half a car's length, they wave to each other. Absolute celebration there for number 3 as we wait for the final last charge to the flag of the last two, but it's number 5 who holds it from 25. So, Bill, can you just give us a summary of the results, please?
Certainly, that was a terrific race for the A final in Division 2, the up to 1600cc cars. We saw Jan van Elderen in the Renault 5 taking first place there, only just from number 4, Jack Franson in the Renault Alpine. He was second. Third place went to Robert Verrecken. Then number 16, Jean-Michel Laurent was fourth. In fifth place, Joseph de Crane after winning the B final. And a very close sixth, Joe Hellebrand, number 25.
Well, here we have the final grid with the Carglass cars, the two competing Porsches, only split by the Audi Quattro, but it's Porsche all the way in the drag to the first corner with British interest, with the Gary Baker, who's come up from the B final, starting into fourth place.
And it's Joe van der Ven who is missing from the grid, so we've got the two Porsches in the lead with number 2, Ludo Sturkers there, leads Paul Kumpen, who is in third place. It should be number 7, the Audi Quattro. Yes, it is, Mark Verrecken. So Belgium first, second and third.
As we watch two masters in the art of handling Porsches, these big heavy cars with their rear bias, which doesn't really favour loose surface driving, weight added to the back of their cars with the turbochargers fitted, tremendously powerful engines. There's Verrecken, trying his best to keep his Audi Quattro on terms with Gary Baker right up behind him.
Yes, and it's very noticeable that number 2, Ludo Sturkers there, is trying all he knows to leave his teammates standing. I think he's trying to prove a point, Colin.
Well, he's certainly proving a point to me at the moment. It's as something comes off the back of the yellow Porsche. I haven't quite seen what it is. If it's an airfoil, it may cause some balance in handling imbalance. We can't see. It looks like a bit of the rear. He's slowed right down.
And there is the leader.
The leader looks to me to be away at the moment.
Where is the man in second
Verrecken
place? And Mark Verrecken is closing on the second place man, trying to go through. He does indeed. And yes, we've lost Paul Ludo. Start again, Paul Kumpen. And Gary Baker now up to third place, Colin.
Gary Baker driving the drive of his life here today. He's beaten some of these guys in England, but this is absolutely completely different here. He's got it all to do again in the Sealink final, but here he is in the A final in third place with Paul Kumpen cruising round now, just trying to finish the race.
And unless I'm mistaken, Colin, I think that Gary Baker might be closing, or at least he was. He dropped a bit there as they climbed up the hill, and we're back with the leader. Just watch the way this car goes around that corner, beautifully balanced. He's got a tremendous lead.
Current Dutch champion, former Belgian champion. You're seeing an expert at work.
And where is the second place man? There he is, Mark Verrecken, coming through the Quattro. There is Gary Baker.
Gary Baker doing a superb job. absolutely excellent drive here today. Third place, and really, Bill, against all the odds, wouldn't you think?
I do indeed, and Paul Cumpen is actually pulling up now. The Porsche is down on one side, he's by the finish line, and I'm wondering whether he's got a puncture or broken suspension. He's actually down on the far side. There is the leader, goes charging through.
Yes.
Smooth at the wheel there.
Cumpen presumably wants to finish to score some points and is close to the finish line to do so. He will inevitably be last in this group. Bringing up the rear, we still have De Crab, number 28, but there's the leader going through. What a joy to watch a car like this driven so well.
There is the leader, Ludo Sturkers, coming through. Checkered flag already out, he hasn't got far to go. Goes up the hill for the final time. Then down the hill, power on. I don't think we'll see him sliding as much as he did before, but he'll certainly be wanting to finish in style in front of his own crowd. So there he is. Victory, and a well-deserved victory to the man who was fastest here today during qualifying. Ludo Sturkers there in the turbocharged Porsche. Second place, the Quattro of Mark Vereker, and where is Gary Baker?
There he is, Bill, coming through for a solid third place. Well done, Gary Baker.
And in fourth place, number 28, Jos Alwish.
Well, we're waiting for the start of the Sealink International Challenge, which has been started by flag from a slightly different position. And through into the lead, it would appear to be Bob Smith in second place. Bob Smith in second place. Warwick Barnes is in third, and if he holds that tight line, he should hold that third place. But very unfortunately, just before the start, Gary Baker it was who made his way back to the pits. Now in the dust that is incredible now, it's a very dry day, and we just cannot see a thing through the dust at the moment. So we're going to have to wait until the cars come down back onto the tarmac. And there's the leader. There, we think, is the leader.
That should be Joe van der Ven in the Alpine for Holland. In fact, it is number 27 now. Holland currently lead this challenge, so he'll be very, very keen to stay out there in front. Warwick Barnes is also in there, number 77. Number 14, Jeff de Koyster in the Escort for Belgium. That is
Jan van der Elderen in second place for Belgium, I think, Bill, in number 3 there, the Renault R5. So it's Holland leading Belgium, and it's Belgium going for it. Belgium losing it on the side. And Warwick Barnes driving a tremendous race in third place.
And he's off, the leader is off, number 27. Joe van der Ven in the Alpine went off there for a moment. Let's see who comes through in the lead. Everybody lost in dust. There he is, 27 out of the race. So there is a change in the order. Belgian lead from Great Britain. Warwick Barnes in second place, but this is the man who leads, number 3, Jan van Elderen for Belgium on home soil. And in third place, it looks like John Turner.
No, in third place, it's
Jeff de Koyster.
Jeff de Koyster, who was performing so well earlier on, who's coming under close scrutiny now from Bob Smith. But Jeff de Koyster really impressed us. Oh, Warwick Barnes has gone over the bank. Warwick, that's one in the bank that we didn't want you to have, sir.
Very true. So that makes Britain take a dive there. We've got 2 cars out of the running. 1 car didn't start. That was Gary Baker. Warwick Barnes out and okay. And I'm sure he did that, Colin, on purpose so we could see those neat overalls of his.
Budget racewear sponsored, yes, but an excellent drive from him. But nevertheless, here we have Belgium doing extremely well on home ground. And Jeff de Koyster, who's also driven a sterling race here today, in a solid second place. Bob Smith doing all he can about it, with in fourth place, number 711.
Right, so the order as they go through, it's number 3 in the lead. That's Jan van Elderen in the Renault for Belgium. Second place, Belgium driver Jeff de Koyster in the Escort. Third, 177. That's Bob Smith for Great Britain. Fourth place, 711, which is John Turner. Then number 25, Joe Hellebrand for the Netherlands team in the Toyota. So could this mean that the Dutch team do not score as many points as they were hoping, and will they lose that lead in the Sealink International Triangle Challenge?
Well, it's certainly going to bring Belgium well back into contention, and I'm absolutely stunned by Jeff de Koyster's driving in the second place car, watching the third place man Bob Smith. But Jeff de Koyster is trying his hardest. There is Jeff, trying his hardest to get on terms with the leader and doing an extremely good job of it.
So 2 Belgian lead 2 British, lead 2 Dutch, and it looks like John Turner is dropping back a little bit. Joe Hellebrand is closing in the Toyota, and an almighty cloud of dust. Somebody's gone off. Bob Smith has gone off. Bob Smith has stopped in the dust. So bad fortunes there for the British team, but that means that John Turner is now up into 3rd place.
So we've got Belgium first and second. And it's a flag. Belgium lead on their home ground, taking 1st and 2nd place. With coming through into 3rd place is number 28, Jos Alverkerke. And finally, number 28.
It was number 25, Joe Hellebrand, who was in that 3rd place. Colin, we lost both the British drivers in the final, so just to confirm there, it was all very, very hectic. Look at that first tyre there for John Turner, 711. That, in fact, is why he also dropped out. I was about to say, all the fortunes changed there on that last half lap. So just to confirm there, the final in the Sealink International Triangle Challenge, a very exciting race, especially in the final. First, it was number 3, Jan van Elderen for Belgium in the Renault 5. Belgium driver also in 2nd place, number 14, Jeff de Koyster in the Escort. 3rd place went to number 25, and that was Joe Hellebrand for Holland in the Toyota Corolla. And 4th place, number 28, Jos Elwinch in the Escort, also for Holland.
Well, that brings us to the end of the Sealink International Triangle Challenge Trophy here today at Grimby.